I said everyone is going to laugh at me. Here comes my time of shame. Today I'm going to be speaking about the wildest, most unexpected moment in my life. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Regina, a registered nurse currently working in Saudi Arabia. But today's story is going to be a little bit different from the normal, but it all aligns to the same direction. So welcome. It all started in 2014 when I was almost completing my Form 4. Some of you maybe may call it, what's this, ordinary level. So our English teacher in school came up with this post talking about an essay competition, like anyone who would like to participate in an essay competition that had only one topic, talking about how will free movement of people in East Africa like bring all these developments and things like that, you know. So that was the topic actually. So he announced that during our assemble, and he said that for anyone who would like to participate in this essay, please come see me and things like that. You know, in that school we were around 400 girls. It was actually a girls' school. We were around 400 girls, and actually I asked myself when he announced it, and I was like, should I try it? Like, should I do it, or should I just leave it? You know, we all have our doubts. So I had some of my friends telling me, you know what, Regina, you can try it. You can try it. I was like, no, you try it. Why are you telling me to do it? They were like, no, we know you can try to write it and things like that. But one part of me was telling me, just do it. Another part was like, just leave it. You're not going to make it in the all East Africa. So for those who don't know about East Africa is comprised of, by that time, it was comprised of 5 countries, which is Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi. So all those students in all, they wanted 5 winners from each country. So 5 from Tanzania, 5 Rwanda, 5 Uganda, 5 Kenya, and things like that. So I asked myself, in Tanzania there are a lot of schools, how am I going to do it? But you know what? I just went up to my English teacher and told him, I'm going to try to do it. I told him I'm going to try to do it. So I started writing my essays. Every time after class, he used to give me the computer so that I can search, I can try to search in some information. He also told the head teacher that competing for the essay, so after class I should not go for this work, I should go and do the essay. So all I did was, I used to go to the computer, search all the information, try to search if I could get something to write. And yeah, so that's how it started. I started writing. I collected all the information I needed, started writing. I took them to my English teacher, and he used to cross out everything. I tell me to repeat it, to redo it, and I reached at the point when I didn't want to do it again. But he told me, you're going to do it until it's perfect. Okay, so I went on writing every day after class. I used to do it. That's all I would do. It stressed me out at that point. I was like, I'm not going to do it again. Okay, so I remember the moment I wrote the final, so I had to compile everything and write. I remember it was something like 3 pages. Yeah, something like 3 pages. So I compiled everything, and we had 2 options. You type it or maybe write it by hand. But my English teacher at that time, he believed I had a really good handwriting, so he wanted me to write it by hand. So I remember he gave me really nice A4 papers, and I wrote my essay in 3 pages by hand. Like, he told me to make sure I don't make any mistake. So every time I wrote something wrong, I had to like start again for that page. I had to start again because I was not allowed to make any scratches or any mistakes. So I wrote everything and I took it to him. And my school send that essay. So the competition was done. The country itself had to do the screening, like let's say Tanzania does the screening, like to only get 5 best essays. Kenya also screened their essays and get 5 best essays, just like that. At that time, I was asking myself, is my essay going to be selected at least in Tanzania? Even if not in East Africa, but at least in Tanzania, like my essay being selected among the 5 best essays. I didn't know actually. So I waited at that time. We waited for a long time, and I remember I'd finished my national exam. You know, in Form 4 in Tanzania we do a national exam. So I had finished my national exam, and I remember it was in November, something like November 2014. Okay. After I finished my national exam, I was preparing for a graduation and waiting to go home. Like I was done at that time. So one day at the assemble, you know, it had passed a lot of, something like 3 months, I remember, something like that. So I felt like maybe results were out already, I did not pass, and my teacher doesn't want me like to get disappointed, so maybe it's not telling me if I pass. You know, at school we're not allowed to have phones and everything, so I didn't know what's going on, you know. And even if they sent an email, they would send it to my school and not to me direct. So at that point I was like, maybe I failed. Maybe I failed because they're not telling me anything about it. So at that time, one day we were at the assembly, and so we were waiting for our graduation for maybe some weeks, maybe few days. It was few days to our graduation, and we were done with the exams. So just in, you know, boarding school, you remain at school and things like that. So during our assemble, our headmistress stood there and she said, "You remember the day when our English teacher announced about the essay and so and so, essay competition?" And I was like, my heart went like, boo, whoa, what's going on? Yes, it's a competition, but what's going on? What happened? Did I fail? Is everyone going to laugh at me? Because the whole school, all girls knew that I competed. And I said, everyone is going to laugh at me. Here comes my time of shame. What's going to happen, dear Lord? My heart was, yeah, adrenaline just started hitting, and I was like, what's going to happen? Really, I was scared. And she said, so one of our students, I can forget that, one of our students competed in the essay competition, and we are glad to say, when I heard we are glad, I was like, what happened? We are glad to announce that she will be going to Nairobi. I was like, what? She said, I won the essay competition in Tanzania. First off, in Tanzania. So in Tanzania, I won as a 5th place. I was the 5th. My essay almost dropped out, you guys. I was the 5th in Tanzania. I told you each country had to choose the 5 best essays and send them to East Africa. So in Tanzania, my essay landed 5th position, and the essays, all 25 essays from both, I mean from all 5 countries, were sent to compete again, like East African overall, if you understand what I mean. So all 25 essays had to be, like, they had to be, they had to be reviewed again so that they can choose the 5 overall winners in East Africa. So my essay was the 5th in my country, and I was like, is it even going to make it in East Africa? I was like, it's not going to be chosen. But you know what, in East Africa they didn't mind whether your essay was 1st, 2nd in your country, they were reviewing them again. So, and she announced, and her essay has won 3rd place in overall East Africa. So in East Africa, my essay was a 3rd. Can you believe this? My essay was 3rd place in East Africa. So the first essay was from, the first overall essay winner was from Uganda. The 2nd was from Kenya. The 3rd essay was mine. So they were choosing the best essay from each country. So Tanzania, we became the 3rd. and fourth place was Burundi. So and fifth place was Rwanda. So those were the overall, and I actually asked the overall winners. None of the winners was the first in their country. These things are really like hooked up. I don't know what happened, but you can, when they did the overall competition of those 25 essays, my essay was a third among 25 East African essays. So I was so thrilled, like everyone at school, when our head mistress announced that thing, everyone at school was cheering like that moment. They carried me, everyone was cheering. I was not on the ground at that moment, everyone was carrying me, and the headmistress said, "Regina, where are you? Come at the front." And I said, "Oh my God." At that moment, oh my God, I'll never forget that moment in my life, really. She said, "Regina, where are you? Come at the front." I went at the front. I was so happy. I'd finished my exams and I was just waiting for my graduation, and that was the best gift God gave me. Like, I was so thrilled. I went at the front of the assembly. Everyone was clapping. All teachers were like, "Yeah." I remember my English teacher, he hugged me. He hugged me. He was so happy. He was my best friend. He was my best friend. He was so proud of me. My head mistress like hugged me. Everyone was so happy. Like, I made the school so proud. I mean, I don't know. I never believed that I'm going to do it. I just tried. I just tried, and that essay, like, it really stressed me out. The moment I went to finish it, my English teacher was like, "I hope you make it. I hope you make it." But thank God, thank my English teacher, may he rest in peace. Oh my God, that I'm so sorry, guys. I remember this man because he was so supportive, and he was one of the best teachers I had by that time. And maybe the English I speak at this time, it's because he tried to polish, even if it's not that perfect, but he tried to polish my English to the level that I speak it now. And maybe, oh my God, my English teacher passed away last year, and I'm just making this video just to remember what he did in my life and how he contributed to where I am today. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. This is so emotional. I remember that man because I don't know, but there are people who come in our lives and they really do things, and they really push you to somewhere else. Some people are not in our lives like to stay forever, and no one is in our lives that will stay forever. You either leave them or they'll leave you. But I remember, I'm so proud of my English teacher. May he rest in peace wherever he is at this time. But I'm so sorry, guys. This video turned out to be so emotional because I remember how much I struggled with my English teacher just to make that essay like work out, and he was so proud of me at that time. He was so proud. He did everything. I knew he stressed me out with that essay, but he was so proud when the results came out that we won the overall 3rd place in East Africa. Oh, I'm so sorry. So oh my God, this is so emotional. Fine, let's just go and go. This was the most unexpected event in my life. The story goes on. It's not even half of it, okay? So when they announced everything and everyone was cheering, and I was so happy. Okay, so after my graduation, after my O-level graduation, they planned everything. I remember we had a party with Tanzanian leaders and everything. They gave us gifts. I'll try to connect the pictures if I still have them. I remember, for those who want to know what I got a certificate from Tanzania for ranking 5th, being the 5th best essay in Tanzania. They gave me a certificate actually, thank God. They also I remember they gave us some money, and as for a fifth place, I remember I got $50 because I had become a fifth in Tanzania. Okay, and I remember the first person in Tanzania got something like $500 in Tanzania, I remember, and a certificate. But they also planned a trip to Nairobi. So we had to fly to Nairobi, all of us, 5 students from each country. So we were 25 students. I met students from different East African countries at that time. We stayed in Kenya for something like 3 days, I remember. So the first day was the arrival day when they booked a hotel for us. Oh, it was so nice, really. It was unexpected, but so nice. So I remember after I met them, the next day they had planned, the next day they had planned for a very huge summit. It was called a 16th Ordinary East African Summit, I'll never forget it, of head of state. So we were going to meet the presidents themselves in East Africa. So, oh my God, this is unbelievable, guys. The overall 5 winners, one from each country, was going to be awarded by the East African presidents. Not anyone, by the East African presidents themselves. You people, I didn't know this essay was going to take me that far to meet the East African presidents. And I remember by that time, the Tanzanian president was President Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete at that time. And from Kenya, he was with this Uhuru Kenyatta. From Burundi, it was Pierre Nkurunziza, may he rest in peace, oh my God. And from Rwanda was President Paul Kagame. From Uganda was Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, if I got that right. And I remember by that time, South Sudan was trying to join East Africa. So I remember the president from South Sudan, he was there also. So we had 6 presidents at that summit who were Salva Kiir. He was President Salva Kiir from South Sudan. So when it was my time, I remember we went there, we had IDs with all these protocols and securities. You guys, it was getting overwhelming. It was getting overwhelming. So I actually did not go with my teacher. All of us, we went with one of the, I don't know how to say this, but she was like 2 leaders from Tanzania, 2 leaders of these educational ministries, whatever, I don't know. So I remember we went to that party and everything, we ate, they gave us certificates. I'll put that video, you're just going to see it. I was so happy. I shook hands with President Kikwete, my president at that time. He was so proud of me. He was like, "Hongera sana." Now he was speaking Swahili. He was like, "Hongera sana, kazi nzuri," which means congratulations, nice work, like keep up the good work. He was so proud of Tanzania at that time. And I shook hands with all when I reached with this President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, he was like, he asked me, what's the meaning of Nyamicho? What does Nyamicho mean? So I had to tell him, Nyamicho is the name given to a girl who is born after twins. So I have my elder brothers are twins. So I told him, and I don't know why it didn't make sense at that time, but he asked, and I don't know what he wanted to use with it, but he maybe liked my name. I told him, and I shook hands with everyone, with the bodyguard, you know, these protocol things. I cannot tell you how happy I was at that moment. I was so proud. And I remember we were told to go with our uniforms. So if you see me, I'm actually wearing the uniform from my school, okay? So I remember, so what I got from this essay, I remember I got another certificate from East Africa as the 3rd overall winner. I won $1,000. I was so happy. I won $1,000, guys. I had never won that kind of money. At that time, I was so proud. I told my dad was like, oh, my dad was so proud. My mom was like, it is real. They saw me on TV, like, I don't. This thing is getting emotional. So, okay, like shaking hands with the president, and they were like, no one in my family ever did this. Never. I was actually the only one who ever did this. And from that time, I actually, I remember they took us for tour in from Kenya. They took us to Uganda. They took us to travel in Kampala. We did a lot of shopping. They gave each one of us, those who did not win the overall, because we had them, they also attended the summit and things like that. They also gave us dollars each for shopping. So after that celebration, the next day they took us to, we went from Kenya to Uganda, Kampala. We did the shopping and everything like that. It was really a cool moment. I'm telling you, some people had never been in Nairobi. It was not my first time taking a plane actually, by that time, because I'd gone somewhere else with a plane. But it was my first time meeting the president, meeting the East African presidents. I'd never met the president. I only saw those people on TV, and it's not like I was, I mean, I never expected. It was a moment that I never expected to happen in my life, really. All right, after that moment, that's when I believed that I can really write. I believe that I had something in me that my English teacher saw that maybe I did not see when it comes to maybe literature. When it comes to literature, I actually sometimes tell people I love language. I don't know why some people are always surprised why I'm even a nurse. Some people tell me, why did you even choose to be a nurse? Maybe you'd be a writer, or maybe you choose to do something. I personally love being bilingual, I mean being multilingual, like being a linguistic. I love language. I really love language, and I love learning new languages. Some people tell me, why don't you speak Swahili? God, I grew all my life speaking Swahili, and I know Swahili. Najua Kiswahili vizuri sana. But sometimes I don't choose to speak it because, I mean, I've spoken it all my life. I'm learning to speak new languages, and I see new languages taking me somewhere else. And I don't mean that Swahili is not important. Swahili is important, but I want to know something else, if you get what I mean. So that's one of my sides that I have not shared actually a lot here. Most people didn't know anything about it. So thank you so much guys for watching. And if you stayed here up to this moment, thank you so much. And I want to remind you that your talents and your efforts and your hard work can really take you places that you never imagine you're going to be there. Okay? So keep pushing guys. Let's support each other. And if you have a story that you never imagined it could happen, please comment down and tell us, share your story with us. I would like to hear what's your story. Please inspire me. Let's inspire each other. This life is sometimes not fair, and you just need to go with it, you know. So thank you so much guys. Do not forget to subscribe, share this video, inspire other people. Hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye.